Hey guys, and welcome to my kitchen. Today is going to be a meal prep video. I'm actually going to be meal prepping for a friend of mine. So today I will have meat in my menu as well. So today we're going to be doing a lemongrass and garlic marinated chicken skewers. And we will be doing sweet potatoes, brown rice, and we'll also be doing some vegan meals for them as well. So we'll be doing like a red bean stew to kind of do a play on red beans and rice as well. So stay tuned for that. And the first thing that I like to do whenever I'm meal prepping is I like to get organized. So the very first thing I do is I'll sit down and I'll figure out either what I already have on hand or if I need to go grocery shopping, and I'll go ahead and put my list together of what my menu is going to consist of. Then once I have that done, then it's just the starting process, and I usually will always start with my starches, and I'll go ahead and get those going. So today in our video, the first thing we'll do is we'll prep our sweet potatoes as well as our brown rice, and then from there we'll go ahead and slice and marinate our chicken, and then we'll go ahead and prep our veggies and get them ready. And then the final step is we'll grill off or high heat cooking, whether it is our vegetables that we have left or the chicken, whatever it is that takes the least amount of time. So you gotta kind of prioritize, go in like a time order here from what takes the longest to the shortest. So stay tuned and let's get started. As mentioned, the first thing I always like to start on are my starches. So we're gonna go ahead and get our rice started. 2 tips, guys, for good rice is I always like to reduce the water amount. So instead of a 2-to-1 ratio, I use 1/2 additional cup of water to rice, and also keep the lid on for an additional 10 minutes after the cooking time. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start on our roasted sweet potatoes. The recipe for this will be linked below, so it'll be more detailed. And once that's done, then we're going to go ahead and get our meat prepped for the marinade. One thing I would like to mention, guys, is you do not have to rinse your chicken off. That pretty much all you're doing there is creating a greater risk of spreading those germs. Once you heat that chicken to 165 degrees or higher, you're going to be killing anything anyway, so you do not have to rinse your chicken. Once your chicken's all sliced, then go ahead and add in the rest of our ingredients. We had fresh lemongrass, garlic, salt, pepper, a little bit of fish sauce, and a little bit of olive oil. Mix that up, and then we're going to go ahead and put some plastic wrap over that and let that sit in the fridge for the remainder of our prep. I like to let this sit at minimum probably about 30 minutes, but you can let it sit longer. The salt's going to tenderize the meat, and then the seasonings are obviously going to add flavor. At this point, we're going to go ahead and move into our red bean stew. The first step to this is go ahead and get all of your ingredients together. Have everything right by the stove and ready for you, chopped, everything ready. So the first step to that would be go ahead and saute off all your vegetables. Once all your vegetables are sauteed off and they're starting to brown, then add your garlic. You don't want to add the garlic too early because then it can burn, and burnt garlic is nasty. Then we're going to go ahead and add our flour, let that cook for a minute. Add our seasoning mix, let that cook for a minute, and once everything's kind of melded together, then we'll go ahead and add our chicken stock or vegetable stock, whichever one you're using, and let that kind of just simmer off a little bit and let everything meld together. Then we'll add the final step to that would be to add our beans. So now pretty much everything is added, and we're going to go ahead and bring that up to a heavy boil. And once that's boiling real hard, then we'll add our kale. And it's going to feel like you have a ton of kale, guys, but just push it down and it will cook down a lot. So once that's cooked down, then you're going to go ahead and just season it up a little bit. Test for salt and pepper. I added a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of Texas Pete, and just go ahead and shut it off, let it sit, and then we will move on to our vegetable medley. For the vegetables, I went ahead and roasted the broccoli and the onions in the oven. I would typically roast the squash with them, but I just didn't have enough room and I didn't want my vegetables to steam. I wanted some nice browning. So I went ahead and roasted these in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes or until they started to brown. I lightly drizzled them in olive oil, seasoned them with some garlic blend and some salt, and that was it for the vegetables. So let me catch you up on where we are at. We got all of our starches done. We got the bean stew done. We got most of our veggies cooked off. All we have left is to grill. So let me show you what we have done. Okay, so here are our roasted broccoli and red onion. Then we have the red bean stew. The sweet potatoes are done. The rice is done, and then this is everything we're gonna throw on the grill. I usually would actually throw the zucchini in with the other vegetables, but I didn't have an extra pan then, so I just said whatever, and we're gonna put it on the grill. So see you at the grill. Grill time. So the first step to grilling 101 here, guys. Get your grill as hot as it can go. Rip roaring hot here, guys. Between 500 and 600 degrees. And you're gonna want that to just sit for a little while and just get those grates nice and hot so you can get those nice char lines on your meat. So that's the first step we're gonna do. Then we're gonna go ahead and clean the grill off, clean the grates, then we'll be ready to put our food on. We're going for a quick sear here, guys, not slow roasting, so we want it to stay hot. We're not gonna lower the temperature the whole time. We're gonna leave all the burners on full heat. When grilling your meat, there's going to be hot spots on your grill, so you're going to have to move your meat around on the grill to make sure that it cooks evenly. Also, remember that this 2-minute timer that I'm using, this is just a gauge to keep myself from burning the meat. This is not a perfect cooking time. Your poultry must reach 165 degrees internal temp for it to be safe. So just use that more as a gauge. Get you a meat thermometer and check it that way. Also, with the vegetables, they usually stay on longer to get that nice char. Once everything's done, then we can go ahead and assemble all of our bowls, and we are done. That's a wrap. So we have finished meal prep, and it took about 4 hours because of the videoing and the running around to other houses to finish grilling since my grill stopped working. But roughly, it would have, on average, took me about 2 hours. I made about 5 meals for 2 people each, so it's about 10 meals total, and you could use these as either lunch or dinner. And I didn't put the exact portion sizes for you guys on here because I kind of want you guys to determine that on your own based on whatever your own fitness goals are. So you'll have to determine that on your own. These are just ideas on how to put it together, and hopefully this will simplify it for you and not make things more complicated. So if you guys have any questions about the recipes, leave them below. Give me the like, the thumbs up, and thanks for watching.